Leave Sharia alone. Talk about restructuring. This is Sheik Gumi from the northern part of Nigeria telling the CGN, Chief Justice of Nigeria, to focus on how he is going to push his boss, Buhari, on how restructuring will put Nigeria in the best path. So people can either vote to leave or vote to stay. The Chief Justice of Nigeria recently called for the amendment of the Constitution to expand the scope of Sharia legal system. He was asked, what do you think about this? Sheikh Gumi said, what I think we should do is to restructure Nigeria so that areas where Muslims in the majority like Zamfara, Kano, will have their system where Christians are more, allow them to have their own way too. That is just what it said. Wherever you have more majority, allow the majority to have their ways. Wherever you have the majority of Christians, allow them, majority of Muslims, allow them. But then I think if there is a balance, if there is respect for the rule of law, there won't be any need for anyone to bother about Sharia. Law is what governs people and controls them. If there is Sharia law in Borno State, Boko Haram will end immediately because there will be nothing to agitate for. That is what he said. Saudi Arabia is running the Sharia system, but that does not prevent them from developing. They have the best roads, hospitals, and latest technology. They produce some of the highest number of PhD holders in all fields. Restructuring Nigeria is the most important thing. Don't talk about Sharia. Each state should have autonomy to do what suits the majority of its population. You cannot neglect religion. It is very potent. If it is used to manipulate the people, it becomes opium. But if it is used strictly according to the scriptures, according to the Quran, it is good. That is what he said. So I'm thinking, why not make it easier? The best option is for everyone to split apart. We don't need to have some states that obey Sharia, work with Sharia, and because of that, they claim that is why Boko Haram is just killing, maiming people all over the place. The best option is for people to break apart. Let us break apart. Aside religion, we do not have the same value system. We don't think the same way. In Islam, he said, we are told that Muslims should love Christians. Clerics are not big headed. Christianity inculcates humility. If your neighbor is a good Christian, you are safe. If your neighbor is a good Muslim, you are safe. A good Christian or a good Muslim will not chase your wife. He will not chase your daughter. He will not come home drunk. He will not steal your money. He will not fight religion. We should rather embrace religion. But it should be localized, not nationalized. Let states have their autonomy and rules. Muslim states that want Sharia should have it. If you do that, you will control crime. When Sharia was introduced in Zamfara, the crime rate was low. Go and check police records. Now, this is the same Sharia that cuts off the hands of people when they commit certain crimes, and we don't know how true the investigation has, how they investigate these crimes. Now, that's not to say some other Western countries. I'm not saying we should embrace that all of this. They do hang people. Nigeria still has that kind of law. United States of America still have that kind of law where they murder people, they kill people, they hang people for certain kinds of crime. So he said, I do not think it is for the Chief Justice of Nigeria to prescribe anything. It is for the National Assembly to restructure Nigeria, but I don't think we have the right caliber of people in the National Assembly to do just that. They are not intellectually capable of restructuring Nigeria. Restructuring should happen in the next dispensation. Nigerians should be wise enough to elect intellectuals into the government. 3 years is good enough for Christians, Muslims, and other intellectuals to come together and work out plans. It's just a matter of time. This is a very beautiful country. Said we can make it what we want. It's time for us to restructure. Wow. I would rather say it's time for us to break. Should restructuring include amending the provisions of the constitution on Sharia to cover the whole nation? It was that. He said Sharia has nothing to do with non-Muslims. Only the Sharia court can handle issues of inheritance for Muslims and not the conventional court. There has to be a way for an appellate court for Sharia cases. Once there is a law, there has to be an end. There should be an end to where the law can reach. If we restructure Nigeria, we can give every state autonomy. The autonomy will be good. America is a diverse country as they have, but the laws of the country are well rooted. We need a federation like America where states have some form of independence. And I would say yes, that is also a very good thing. Why don't we abrogate this constitution? It's sick, it's jaundice, and every state can grow at their own pace. They have certain laws and rules. If you know that somewhere in Zamfara state you might be killed, your hands might be cut, you don't go there. You stay in the region where you have peace of mind. Nigeria seems to be more divided than ever before. He was asked what he thinks about politics and religion. He said politics is responsible. Religion unites mankind. If you remove Buddhism from India, China, for instance, there will be chaos. If you remove Christianity, there will be chaos. If you remove Islam, there will be chaos. Religion solidifies. It holds mankind in a big block so they can respect each other. Religion is spiritual, even though religious leaders exploit people. But there is an extent to which they can go because the scriptures are there. It is all about morality. It is all about good neighborliness, compassion. Religion is never a problem, but those who manipulate religion are. That is where the problem is. The division in the country is caused by the political leadership. We don't have good leaders. We have leadership that still believes in opposition. It is structured to be opposing like critics. They are in power, but they still behave as if they are in opposition. I recently heard the vice president saying that they could not tackle poverty because of the past government. You are in your fifth year of leadership, yet you blame somebody for not turning things around. Adolf Hitler made Germany in utter disaster, but in a few years, Germany was producing machines to fight the world. It is leadership. The economy is dependent on leadership. We don't have that. There is crime everywhere. We are spending wrongly. Recently, Buhari submitted a request to the National Assembly to borrow another $30 billion. He was asked and he said they want to fix, they want a fix, they want to build edifices so they can say this is what we've done. This is not how economy is run. Human development indices are very low in Nigeria. Mortality rate is high and the standard of education is poor. If you train Nigerians, they will do what is right. That is what he has to say. So talking about education in the north, he said leaders are not investing enough. As you can see, the budgetary allocations that have been given, rather they will sponsor people to go on Hajj. They will rather sponsor people to go get married to more wives. Recently, Professor Abdullah Angle said politicians and political system have failed Nigerians. Is theocracy an option? Say theocracy has died several years. The papal authority used to send crusaders to the Middle East, but it turned out a disaster. And the Pope lost his authority. Monarchs came out, but they lost their authority. There is no more theocracy. In Islam, the caliphate was completely destroyed in 1924, and there is no more caliphate now. God cannot allow you to form a government under his cloak and you will be deceiving people. He will surely destroy it. So it seems this man, Sheik Agumi, has a lot of good things in his mind. Of course, we won't want to talk about breakaway because the DSS, SSS might come to arrest him, but he's talking about restructuring, which is supposed to be. He said they asked about what his reaction is to recent torture centers and Islamic rehabilitation centers in the north. He said he has been to some of the centers. There are wrong narrations to the story. Poverty and ignorance in the north have led to an explosion of the use of drugs. Men, women, and children are addicts, and there are no government institutions that can handle such things. Out of necessity, families take their children to such centers with the hope that they will be restrained and rehabilitated because the government has failed them. It is not a hospital where they can be treated. So what do? They oftentimes they chain these addicts. During the first 4 years of Buhari, it was asked if that he expressed disappointment with his performance. He said things have become worse. Look at the border closure. Look at obsession with rights. There is a government that thrives on propaganda and it capitalizes on the ignorance of its supporters. Things are bad for the people. Court orders have no meaning in Nigeria now because government can ignore it. So he was asked that he was also asked about some other issues of corruption in the society. He said, if we advise this government, what would you say? He said, it is a difficult question for me because if you beat a dead horse, will it run? The situation is terribly bad. People cannot buy drugs. You can no longer trust even your driver to buy fuel for you. You would rather take part of the money to feed his family. So that's what he's talking about. So it seems this man has some very good thing up there. He has certain informations up there. How I wish that a lot of them from the northern part of Nigeria would reason appropriately. And just like what this man is saying, let the north and the south keep pushing for a break. That is what it is for now. If you're not a member of this channel, let us grow it together. by you simply tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below to alert you whenever our videos are uploaded. And for those who have been a member of this channel, I say a very big thank you for the support. I say a very big thank you. I'm very grateful. Thanks for stopping by.